Okay, let's have a look at our Joomla installation. I opened two tabs. You can see the first tab here, which has the front end of our page. And because I installed some sample data, there's already some content on our page. And I opened a second tab here, and this is where I can log on to the back end. And as my username, I picked my email address, or you could do admin, or you could pick whatever name you want, and my password. So I'm logging in now, and now I can see the back end here. So first tab is my front end. Mats Joomla tests is just what I entered when I installed the system, and second tab is my back end. Okay, let's have a look at the front end first. We've got the title of my site, and this title is also a link. Whenever I click on this title, it brings me back to the landing page, to the main page. And we have different areas where we can place menus. We've got one here, and we could decide to put different menus in here. We've got an area here where we could put different menus, and one here. Here's a search box. We can search our site, or we can search the content in our site. Here's a picture, part of our site, and here are different articles. And it just happens to be set up in such a way that the top article takes up the full width of the page, and the other articles only take up a proportion of the page. And here's another box that allows me to log on to the front end. Okay, one thing is here, read more. That means that those articles are actually longer than the space given to them on the front page. So I don't see the whole article. If I want to read the whole article, I click on this link, and it will open up this article by itself. I want to go back, I could press the back button, or if I want to go back to the main page, I can press on the title of my site. The same way I could click on the title of the article, and we go to that article again. Here are some bits of information. Who wrote the article? In your site, you could have many users working in the back end. You could have 5-10 different users, and you can display who wrote the article. You can also turn it off. Articles are part of categories, so here we display which category this article is part of. We can see when this article was published, how many people opened this article so far. And this is all information we can set to be displayed by default. We can tell the system not to display this information by default. And whatever our default setting is, we can also override it for a specific article. So we could say normally we don't want to display how often an article has been shown, but for our top articles we want to overrule that, and we want to display how often those articles have been shown. Here's a menu, let's click on it. Drop down, we can print this article, we can send this article by email to someone else. And what we have here, we have links that actually link to the internet. You can see my address is your username.bimserver2.com. These are links that link somewhere else. They don't link to other bits on my site. And here we've got what we call breadcrumbs. It's a bit like in that fairy tale. So the breadcrumbs help you find where you are. And here we can see we are in home, and in home there's using Joomla, using extension components, blah blah blah. And this is our position at the site at the moment. And because we are fairly down in this structure, the structure that has been installed when we installed the sample data. The menus here popped up as well, and we can see where we are in the menus on the site. If I go back to the main page, you can see that all those menus will close again, and yeah, it's a much tidier look. But I can also open them again one by one, and you can see that we have many more layers of menus. I'm saying that because in the past we looked at CM Simple, and in CM Simple we could only have 3 layers, and here we've already got more layers than that at the moment. Okay, let's have a look at our back end. This is what you see when you log on. Here's some post-installation messages. If there's an update, there would be a box here telling you, oh, there's a new version of Joomla out, do you want to update? Let's have a look at those post-installation messages, whether this is anything of interest. Yeah, and once I read those messages, I can hide them, then I don't need to look at them again. Okay, fine, I want to go back to the back-end landing page. I just click here on this icon, on the Joomla icon. Yeah, we get some dashboard style information. For example, we get information about our popular articles, about recently added articles, but because I just installed the sample data, this is very generic stuff. There are some menus here on the left. The system thinks if you're at the control panel, you might want to write a new article, you might want to create menus, you might want to manage your users. So you can get to those menu points here, but all of those and much more is available here through the top menu. And the top menu is always available to you. It's a drop-down menu. So let's have a look at our options here. We've got the system menu with all system-related items, user-related items. That's useful if you have many users working in the backend. You can put them into groups, you can decide on the permissions they have. Menus, this is where you set up all the menus for your site. Content, this is where you write articles, and articles are placed in categories. This is where you decide on categories as well, and where you can deal with media. If you want to upload pictures, videos, sound files, anything like that. And then here we've got components and extensions. Components are basically very complex extensions. We talked about it in the past. There's 3 different types of extensions, and components are those massive extensions, and they usually create their own menu in the back end. One of the extensions I'll ask you to install is a backup extension, and after you installed it, it will create its own menu here under components. And extensions, this is where you manage and install extensions to give your site additional functionality. And here's the last menu, help, with help files that help you get to grips with Joomla. What else do we have? Here's a link to the front end. And what's this? Here I can see I'm logged in as a super user, and this is where I can log out. Yeah, at the moment I'm the only person logged in, but there could be several users logged in at the same time, and the system is quite clever. One example is if user A is logged in and starts working on an article, this article will be locked, and user B will not be allowed to work on the same article to avoid problems.